Called as partners in Christ's service, called to ministries of grace. We respond with deep commitment, fresh new lines of faith to trace. May we learn the art of sharing, side by side, friend with friend, equal partners in our caring, to fulfill God's chosen end. Christ example, Christ inspiring, Christ's clear call to work in worth. Let us follow, never faltering, reconciling folk on earth. Men and women, rich or poor, all God's people, young and old, blending human skills together, gracious gifts from God unfold. Thus new patterns for Christ's mission, in a smaller global sense, help us bear each other's burdens, breaking down each wall or fence. Words of comfort, words of vision, words of challenge said with care, bring new power and strength for action, make us colleagues free and fair. So God grant us for tomorrow ways to order human life that surround each person's sorrow with a calm that conquers strife. Make us partners in our giving, our compassion to increase, messengers of faith thus giving hope and confidence and peace.
Thank you, Barbara. What was that song?
It was a song that Frank picked, called as Partners in Christ's Service. It's a hymn.
Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of the Seacoast. Our virtual service today is January 30th, 2022. And today we have a little role reversal where I am the facilitator and Frank Barron is our speaker. And as always, we have Barbara Whitney playing music. And as always, she seems to nail it. I hope everyone got through the snow yesterday. And if you're outside our region, I hope you didn't get any. But we got about 5 inches here. I think we were rather lucky. Other people got over a foot. But we will get through this because that's what winter in New Hampshire is. So I would like to begin today with the word of the day for January 30th, 2022. And the word is world peace. I envision all people living in harmony. Sometimes I wonder about my place in the world that is changing so rapidly. I realize many of the world's people may be wondering the same thing. Change can feel scary, especially when I feel as though I have to navigate a shifting landscape alone. I expand my awareness and wonder whether others are feeling the way I do. Feeling fearful or insecure can overwhelm feelings of peace. As peace seems further and further away, it's easy to drift into the isolation and discord. I pray reclaiming peace by feeling my divine entity and identity as a child of God. I remember that all people share in this divine identity. I include all the world's people in my prayer, envisioning us coming together in harmony to create a peaceful world. From Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14. Pursue peace with everyone and the loneliness without no one will see the Lord. I'm going to try that again. Pursue peace with everyone and the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. That's like a tongue twister for me, so forgive me. The word again for today is world peace. I envision all people living in harmony. So again, welcome. We are Unity of the Seacoast. We are virtual. I'd like to next go to our mission statement. Our mission statement is we are a loving, nurturing community dedicated to being a positive path to spiritual living, to awaken the oneness with God within us all. I'd also like to encourage you guys to visit our website, unityoftheseacoast.org. We're always changing it. Our talks are uploaded there each week. Also, they're on our YouTube page. We broadcast now live to YouTube. Trying to reach as many people as possible. Scrolling across the screen is our address, unityoftheseacoast.org. And there is a donate page, Tidely button. Our app that we use is Tidely. It's a simple way to click and give to our church in support of what we do. So I hope you feel inspired enough to do so because we need it. Should you not feel comfortable using that, we can do it the old-fashioned way. We have a mailing address. And our mailing address has been updated. We had it wrong for a couple weeks, but it is now Unity of the Seacoast, P.O. Box 1676, Dover, New Hampshire, 03821. If anyone wishes to be added to our prayer list, or if anyone is looking for a tax form for last year, please email me at Tom Scheinler or at tscheinler@yahoo.com, and that is scrolling across the bottom. We have a prayer list, and we send prayers to Unity, so we hold them for 30 days, and we send them off. But also, we pray about you weekly with a group of people. So if there's anyone that you need for that, please send me an email. We'd also like to offer a belated happy birthday to Linda Kay. I hope it's wonderful. She's out in California in the sun, so she missed the snow, and I hope you're having a great time, Linda, and happy birthday. The first of every month, Charlie has a meditation at 7 p.m. It's the first Monday in each month. If you missed the last one, we add it to our website so you can view it there. And please join us for that. That'll be a week from Monday. Next week, I begin a 2-part series on prosperity using Edwene Gaines' book, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. She is great. There's nothing that I can come up with that tops what she's written. So if you don't have a copy, it's a good copy to have. But it's also an inspiring book, and I hope you guys tune in for that. We also will be planning another meeting, like an annual meeting, but because we revised some of our bylaws to update it for Unity, we just want you guys to look at it and approve it. But you should be getting an email when we've set up a time we've heard back from Unity. So look for an email for that. We've also been broadcasting live on YouTube, and our talks are archived on YouTube as well as our webpage. So if you miss talks or want to look back at anything, any of our special services or any special guests, like you probably will for Frank today, please go there and check us out. Then following the service today, we will have a fellowship. That ID is scrolling across the bottom. It's a Zoom fellowship. The number ID is 856 2435 5947. And if you're new to us today, we thank you and welcome you. And we hope you do join us for the fellowship. That is on Zoom. There comes a time every week when we used to get together and do this. It was such a great thing when we did it physically, but we use a Sanskrit greeting called Namaste. We greet each other, and that means the Christ in me sees the Christ in you. The best in me sees the best in you. When we're live, this is just, it's like a little quick party that breaks out in the middle of a service, and it's just so nice. And I miss doing that. I really do. But since we're virtual, we have to do this through the chat window. So if there's anyone in your room, greet them with a namaste. And for those who want to greet the world, just type namaste in the comment box. And to you all, namaste.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, Barbara. That was, again, wonderful.
Thank you.
So this is a fun thing for me. I always like when we have a guest speaker, and I love when it's someone from our church. I've known Frank for several years. He's one of my dear friends. He's just a great guy who's willing to share what he knows and understands, not only just in his talks, but we'll exchange emails, and he'll tell me about a book he's reading, or send me a quote, or send me a book he's reading. And he never fails to land on something that I seem to need at the moment. And that's one of the great things about feeling connected to the world, is everything comes in the way it's supposed to come. And Frank lives by this. I'm very honored to call him my friend. I'm very honored that he listens when others talk and when he listens to me, but I'm very, very honored when he shares his insight. Frank is a special education teacher in Boston, and talk about giving. That's a special gift to do that. There's a certain kind of patience in that, and I say that from experience, because there was a time I had to drive special needs kids around to fill in for a person who was taking a vacation, and there's a lot that you process in those moments, just to give of yourself, but receive from them. And Frank does this always. He's just has that ability to give and receive and process and live life in the moment. So I am very honored and very thankful that he asked to speak. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my friend and our speaker today, Frank Barron.
Wow. Thank you, Tom. Such a fine introduction. I'm not sure, but I think I'm about to drool on my shirt. Just kidding. Well, welcome, everybody. Really pleased that you could join us. I'd like to begin this morning with a New Testament story. It's taken from the Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 10. A certain lawyer tempted Jesus, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? Jesus said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou? And answering, the lawyer said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. And Jesus said unto him, Thou hast answered right. Do this, and thou shalt live. But the lawyer, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, And who is my neighbor? Jesus answered with a story. A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, who stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw the wounded man, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on the wounded man and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where the wounded man was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. And he went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on the morrow, when the Samaritan departed, he took out 2 pence and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Then Jesus said to the lawyer, Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him who fell among the thieves? And the lawyer said, He that showed mercy on him. Then Jesus said unto him, Go, and do thou likewise. For me, this passage serves such a fine example of the difference between selfishness and caring for others. The thieves are obviously blatant takers, and the lawyer is obviously concerned only with making himself look superior with his efforts to trick Jesus. But Jesus is the right thinker. Jesus does not react, he responds. He does not berate the lawyer by saying something like, Look, you self-seeking airhead, don't you get it? Takers are losers like you. Givers are winners. No. Jesus does not berate the lawyer. Rather, he uses a story that gently brings the lawyer to recognize the vital concept of giving. Jesus, the ultimate giver, would not criticize, but recognizes the divinity of the lawyer and gently guides him to the truth that it is better to be a giver. Stories have been such a highly effective way of giving concrete clarity and understanding to points that may seem abstract or elusive. And the parable Jesus used was so powerfully effective. As we all know, Jesus was a great user of parables in his teachings. We all encounter both givers and takers along our life pathways. And I think that our awareness of the needs of others and of giving opportunities depends largely on how we are living our lives. Back in the days of my youth, I was truly a taker. I'm an alcoholic. In AA, I learned that addiction, whether drugs or booze, is the most selfish state a human being can be in. True, I now have 42 years of sobriety, thank God, but I'll never forget that my sobriety is a sacred gift I received from a true giver. A true giver who overcame great personal challenges, became a unity minister, and as a true giver was there for me. Reverend Thomas Newman, my personal savior, who brought me to know giving. During the 1970s, Reverend Tom was radio broadcasting his Sunday services from his Unity Church in Brookline, Massachusetts. I heard him on my car radio as I was Sunday morning driving off a hangover with a fifth of whiskey under my driver's seat and a loaded .357 Magnum revolver on my hip. I was seeking rock and roll music, switching any radio station where I found blah blah talk. But something made me stop at the station where I heard this English accent voice. Reverend Tom's words so moved me, I listened with rapt attention, completely carried away to the end of his lesson. I do not recall what he said, but I strongly remember the way I felt. By the time he finished, I felt I could park that car and fly across the universe. I found myself in Reverend Tom's church in Brookline the following Sunday, and every Sunday. Thanks to his teaching and guidance, I gave up drinking and the guns. Through the many conversations and classes with Reverend Tom, I became well acquainted with and embraced unity. I discovered how great a giver Reverend Tom was, truly so aware of his divinity and such a Christ-like giver. He explained to me that the universe is cyclical. Giving, true giving, always brings receiving, but he strongly stressed that one should never think about getting something in return for anything given. He said when you give something with strings attached, your focus is on how you will benefit personally. On the other hand, when you give of yourself without expecting something in return, your entire focus is on the helping of the recipient. You are not really giving if you expect something in return. 2 things to know, Reverend Tom told me. First, be aware of others and recognize their needs. Second, if you have the resources to fill a need you see, give. No questions, no hesitation, give. And I saw many situations where Reverend Tom practiced what he preached. Here's one occasion that really stands out for me. An older woman came to Reverend Tom, tremendously upset because her old car had broken down and needed expensive repair. She did not have the money to repair her car, and without her car, she could not get to work. She would lose her job. No job, and she would lose her apartment and be homeless. Reverend Tom brought her out to his driveway, reached into his pocket and handed her the key to his Rambler. And he said, "Here, take this car. This is your car now. Don't worry, everything will work out." Weeping, the woman hugged Reverend Tom and kept repeating, "Thank you, Reverend Tom. Thank you, thank you, thank you." 2 days later, Reverend Tom found a Cadillac parked in his driveway with a note on the windshield from the man who owned the company that employed this woman to whom he gave his car. And the note said, "Just to be clear, don't think for a minute that you can outgive me." Because I believe that selfless giving is such an important topic, and because I have seen how stories can be so engaging and do so much to make meaning clear, I'd like to share a few stories about giving. You know, it really is quite important to me. I remember what I was like when I spent 10 years in the bottle, 10 years of thinking only of myself. And the only thing I wanted to know was where is the next drink and get out of my way. And carrying a loaded gun all that time, really dangerous. And so realizing what that was like and understanding what Reverend Tom has given me and seeing how important giving can be. And so I just needed to share these stories with you. This first story demonstrates the folly of selfishness. The title is The Selfish Man. I found this to be a real good one. Once upon a time, there was a selfish man. He liked everything to be his own. He could not share his belongings with anyone, not even his friends or the poor. One day, the man lost 30 gold coins. He went to his friend's house and told him how he lost his gold coins. His friend was a kind man and sympathized with him. As his friend's daughter was coming home from an errand, she found 30 gold coins. When she arrived home, she told her father what she had found. The girl's father told her that the gold coins belonged to his friend, and he sent for his friend. When the selfish man arrived, his friend told him how his daughter had found his 30 gold coins and handed them to him. After counting the gold coins, the man said that 10 of them were missing and had been taken by the girl, as he had lost 40 gold coins. He further informed the girl's father that he intended to recover the remaining gold coins from him, but the girl's father refused. The man left the gold coins and went to the court and informed the judge about what had taken place between him and the girl's father. The judge sent for the girl and her father, and when they arrived, he asked the girl how many gold coins did she find. She replied, 30 gold coins. The judge then asked the selfish man, how many gold coins did you lose? And the selfish man answered, 40 gold coins. The judge then told the man that the gold coins did not belong to him because the girl found 30, not 40, and he claimed to have lost. And then the judge told the girl to take the gold coins, and that if anybody is looking for them, he will send for her. The judge told the selfish man that if anybody reports that they have found 40 gold coins, he will send for him. It was then that the selfish man confessed that he lied and that he lost 30 gold coins, but the judge did not listen to him. I love it. The obvious lesson here, of course, is to be always honest. Dishonesty never pays. I'd now like to share a number of stories of personal giving by my partner, Ginny, and me. However, it's important that this sharing is not viewed as bragging. We don't brag, and we're not seeking a pat on the back. No. We don't brag, and I believe these stories can serve as lively illustrations, examples of the spiritual importance of being a selfless giver. Whenever I see a roadside beggar, I pull over and give whatever I can pull from my wallet. But let me tell you, wearing tight-fitting jeans, pulling out my wallet is always a serious struggle. Careful, Frankie, don't crash the car. But I do it because it's an opportunity to give, period. Someone needs, I'll give. And Ginny, my loving, beloved partner, she's one of the greatest givers you will ever meet. Ginny cannot see a need and turn away from it. She loves browsing through gift shops and, of course, dragging me along. As she browses, she has in mind needs of others she knows about. Oh, sure, there are things she seeks for herself. But often she will buy items she knows will help a family member or friend. Ginny usually does not leave a thrift shop empty-handed, and often it's with items for someone else. Ginny's brother is 87. It seems dementia has been creeping in. Ginny always invites him to dinner, but it has been a while since he has been able to join us. So Ginny regularly cooks extra and brings him food, always enough for more than one meal. She has also been helping our next-door neighbor. He's a single dad raising his 13-year-old daughter. Lately, he's been sick and out of work. You guessed it, Ginny has been cooking extra at supper time and sending me next door with 2 servings. And their cat has been coming over to our back porch looking like a hungry beggar. So, of course, Ginny has me putting out a bowl full of cat food each and every morning. Really something to see that little guy looking up at me with those big yellow eyes and giving me his morning meow. Ooh. I imagine him saying, "Wow, thank you, Frankie." And that's not all for dear Ginny. One of her daughters has a mother-in-law who's 89 years old and in need of help. Ginny spends a day a week cleaning her home and taking care of her needs. Ginny has a mentally challenged son who is confined to a wheelchair and lives in a group home. Some of the patients who live in that home are not always provided with needed clothing by their families. Ginny seldom visits that group home without bringing some needed items for those patients. A few years ago, while I was serving at another Unity church, on a Sunday morning, a friend came in, all upset because the previous Wednesday evening service, someone took his parka from the closet. It was a new parka. This was the dead of winter, and he was out of work and struggling financially. Now, I had a nice parka hanging in the church closet, and I sensed Reverend Tom's whisper somewhere in the back of my consciousness. Give. Okay, Reverend Tom, gotcha. I gave the man my parka. The following Sunday, a man brought back the missing parka, explaining he had taken it by mistake. My friend was delighted to have back his parka, and he returned my parka to me. But a few days later, one of Ginny's nephews was in need of a winter coat. So once again, I gave my parka. That weekend, Ginny visited a thrift shop where she once worked. Her friend and the owner of the shop had just taken in a brand new LL Bean parka. She sold it to Ginny for $4. $4. Ginny gave it to me. Now this parka is the best that money can buy. I still have it. Amazing. The thought that crept across my mind was, "Hey, Reverend Tom, are you pulling strings up there?" Anyway, on a Sunday morning, probably 6 years ago, I was helping out with hospitality at a Unity church in Amesbury, Massachusetts. Someone told me there was a man sitting in a car in the parking area with a flat tire and a pile of loaves of bread in his front seat. I then noticed several of the congregation looking him over, but not approaching him to ask what he needed. I went out to speak with him. His name was Bill, and he told me his story. His left front tire went flat the night before, just outside our parking area, and he already had a donut spare on his left rear wheel. He recently became homeless, had been living in his car, and he worked doing random delivery jobs. As for the bread, he said he collected day-old loaves of bread from stores and delivered them free of charge to homeless shelters and soup kitchens. He spent the night sleeping in his car, hoping to get a tow to Walmart in Seabrook, New Hampshire, because what he believed would be the only place where he could buy a tire on a Sunday. I believe I felt Reverend Tom nudging my soul. Or was it the Christ in me? What I was aware was my own conscience saying, "Actually, Frankie, what's the difference? Do something about this." It was clear. Yes, there was a genuine need here. And yes, I could help. I whipped out my AAA card and arranged a tow to Walmart in Seabrook. When our work at the church was done, Ginny and I went to Walmart to check on Bill. We found him sitting in his car in the rear of the Walmart parking lot. Walmart did not have the size tire he needed, so he planned to sleep in his car and hoped to find a tow to Town Fair Tire in the morning. It was bitter cold, and I thought this is not a good time to be sleeping in the car. Ginny and I went scouting and found a motel about a mile down the road. The woman at the desk quoted the rate and said it included free breakfast. I told her the room was for a homeless man, and we would return shortly with him. Back at Walmart, we found Bill in the overgrown grass of the field behind Walmart, throwing slices of bread here and there for the birds. He said he knew he wouldn't get to deliver this time. We brought him to the motel. This time, the woman at the desk quoted a rate much lower than she had told us. Ah, yes, I thought, another good giver. Early the next morning, Bill called me. He had taken his shower and had eaten his breakfast and wondered if I could drive him back to his car. Back at Walmart, I called AAA for a tow to Town Fair Tire. I saw Bill checking the money in his wallet. It didn't look like enough for 2 tires. So, yes, Reverend Tom, I gave him some money. We never saw or heard from Bill again, so we felt confident that things must have worked out for him. A truly amazing development followed, however. It was time for me to renew my car registration and get my car inspected and get an inspection sticker. Well, my car failed inspection at an Exeter gas station. I was told I needed $1,500 worth of front-end work. I brought my car to the Newburyport service garage where I bought it and where I always had it serviced. I told my mechanic friend what my car needed, and that I preferred that he do the job. And, Reverend Tom, please note, I never uttered a word of complaint, never even a hint that this was a budget buster for me. How am I doing, Reverend Tom? Without hesitation, my mechanic friend said to me, I'll take care of that for you, Frank. No charge. No charge? Wow, holy ravioli, fantastic. I thought, hey, Reverend Tom, is this some of that cyclical thing? Recently, I learned about something called the Total Transformation Program, offered by Dawn Michaels. Dawn is a Unity chaplain, a non-Unity minister, and has been with her Unity Church for 37 years. I completed Dawn's program and began attending the Advanced Total Transformation Program. Dawn Michaels taught a morning routine, which I have been using faithfully each morning. It includes pre-meditation music. One of the songs you heard today with Barbara. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. It includes the pre-meditation music. It includes morning meditation, daily entries in my program journal, affirming energy shifts I'd like to see, and writing as well as rereading entries in my source journal. Dawn also taught me the value of 15-second meditations throughout the day. Sitting in a traffic light, a long traffic light. Don't have to close my eyes. 15-second meditation. A powerful affirmation she shared, which I repeat silently throughout my day, is my higher self is leading my day. This is such a powerful reminder for me that we are divine and Christ lives within me. My higher self is my Christ. And when I repeat this throughout the day, that my higher self is leading my day, makes me realize, yes, I must be a giver. That's all there is to it. For me, the meaning of my higher self is the Christ in me. And when I become aware of negative thoughts, inclinations, or actually anything negative, I ask myself, what would Jesus do? Then I remind myself that my higher self is leading my day. There is indeed such strong, enriching connection here. From Jesus' powerful example in the story of the Good Samaritan, to Reverend Tom's teaching of giving, selfless giving, to our spiritual leader, Tom Schindler's inspiring talks here at Unity of the Seacoast, and to the guidance of Dawn Michaels in her Total Transformation Program. Yes, a strong and enriching connection. There is a habit I developed years ago after achieving sobriety. It's a practice I continue and one that helps me maintain an awareness of the loving abundance of God's Spirit, Great Spirit, and rekindles my teary gratitude for all I have learned, for all I have been given, for all I am. The habit involves often gazing at the sky and pondering. Cloudy or clear, it doesn't matter. You see, across from our home, enormously tall trees stand, waving gently against the vast sky. Trees that have stood here since way before my arrival on this planet. And it's like they are pointing to the vastness of the great beyond, the vastness of the universe. And as I look past the treetops, a renewed awareness settles over me. How the boundless generosity and love of Great Spirit is there, always there, maintaining order of all that is out there, always here in me, always giving. And as I ponder, gratitude tears sometimes ooze down my face. And the moment brings to mind the lyrics from the first stanza of the song, How Great Thou Art. O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Yes, Reverend Tom, I will give. Frequently gazing at the sky and recalling these words, this keeps me mindful that I am the recipient of such abundance, and therefore there is so much I have to give, and just maybe my selfless giving will ignite the inner light of gratitude and the inner light of giving in others. As I live my way through each day now, it's like the Christ is nudging, and Reverend Tom is hovering, and Tom Schindler and Dawn Michaels are smiling and nodding, and all are whispering, give, Frankie, give. Einstein called intuition a sacred gift. Dr. Jonas Salk said, intuition will tell the thinking mind where to look next. Two facts to consider here. Meditation increases intuition. And number 2, meditation helps in accessing intuition. It is my hope that we have seen the tremendous benefits of selfless giving. And knowing that intuition can guide us in this, and that meditation is the pathway there, let us now take this into meditation. Find a comfortable position. Elevate your vision slightly, up to where the wall meets the ceiling. Then close your eyes. Gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath and then exhale. While exhaling, focus your attention on your breathing as you feel your body relax. Feel your body relaxing from your head to your feet. Relax and go deeper. Prepare to come back now. Slowly open your eyes. Become aware of your surroundings. And hold firmly whatever inspiration may have occurred. Thank you for joining us. Love and light.
Is this where Tom comes in?
Now, join us, please, in our prayer for protection. Tom, you lead us with that?
Sure. Before we do that, I'd like to do the prayer of tithes and affirmations. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I receive. And so it is. And I'd like to take a moment to offer a prayer to each and every one of you. And I'd like you to think about those in your life who need your affirmations and blessings. Hold them in their highest consciousness, in your highest thought, in your highest vibration. To think of them as whole and new. If you feel comfortable, write their name in the chat. If you don't feel comfortable, then write their initials. And if you're not comfortable with that, just a little heart or a loving emoji or a prayer emoji. And if you can, if you have a relationship with this person or anyone, reach out and tell them that you are thinking of them and that you love them. The fastest way for a prayer to land is to let that person know and tell them you're thinking of them. Even if it's just, I hope you're having a great day. We would like to close this with the prayer of protection. And And if you know it, say it. If not, just it's up on the screen. The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you. And the presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. Amen.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let there be peace on earth. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joy's vow.